What's going on, guys? This is Dave back with the Maltese Billionaire Challenge. We're on to episode 3 now, and we've skipped forward another 2 years, and it's time to see how well and what's been going on in the Maltese leagues, how well a couple of teams have been doing, and we'll take a close look at the national team as well. So first things first, we'll go on to the Bank of Valletta Premier League, and in the Maltese Premier League this year, Pieter Hotspurs won the relegation player final, but Jazeera won the title with 62 points. So someone new that is up there now. Tarsheen Rainbows, St Andrews and Boltzan Youths all getting relegated, and Valletta actually coming second now, so they're trying to get back up there in there. National Lions, who obviously were that team that were incredible in the first year, are now at 4th place. All of these teams have now qualified for the Europa League, which is pretty cool. I don't think they had that many places before, the Maltese teams, to be fair. Zeeburg Rangers won it last year, Jazeera coming second, and National Lions finishing third, Valletta finishing in 4th place. So this season, what we'll do is quickly look at actually the transfers first. That will probably be a good start. So we'll go with this year. The biggest transfer was £15.25 million. It was Dario Rui, who went from Valletta to Hibernian, so a Maltese club to a Maltese club. Andy Delort, the ex-Wigan man, he went from Cairn to National Lions. See if there's anyone else in there that we know of. Britta Sombalonga went from Forest to Schliemann. See if there's anyone else. Liam Moore, from West Ham to Jazeera. Lachina Traore, the big man, he went from Troyes to Nashar. See, Shifty went from Red Bull Leipzig to Schliemann, who signed quite a few players. Other than that, I don't think there's many other players that we know of. Kieran Trippier from Pieta to he left Pieta, he went to QPR. And I think that's probably about that. Charlie Austin went from Norwich to Hibernians for just about £300,000. Last year, it was the exact same amount of money. It says Dario Rui again for some reason. Is that right? Yeah, he was only at Valletta for a year. He went from Palermo. He went for the exact same amount of money. He went back to Hibernians. Alvaro Vazquez was also 15.25 million from Getafe to Zeeburg. Peruzzi from Roma went to Nashar. Serge Gnabry went from Arsenal to Zeeburg. See if there's anyone else. Florian Torvin went from West Ham to Zeeburg as well. Timo Horn, he was a big transfer from Nashar to Southampton. Very good goalkeeper there. See if there's anyone else there. Patrick Van Arnholt from Reading to St Andrews. Adam Lallana went from Liverpool to Zeeburg for 1.6 million. Abel Hernandez moved Maltese clubs from Birzebuja to Zeeburg. Abdou Traore went from Kardemir Karabukspor to Floriana. Nikos Karelis, very good Greek striker, left Nashar, went to Brentford. Jermaine Lenz from Sunderland to Jazeera. Adam Johnson from Reading went to Floriana. Milan Laukovic from Blackpool to Pieter Hotspurs. Joselu moved clubs. He left Nashar, joined Atalanta. Other than that, I think that's a couple of big transfers. Loic Remy for £325,000 went to Zeeburg Rangers as well. Now, if we look at the player stats from this season, see who the best players in the Maltese leagues are. Top goal scorers are Jonah. We had Islam Slimani. He was a very good player. He scored 17 goals. A lot of these players are a lot older now, getting old. Wilfred Bonney coming fourth for Schliemann Wanderers. Olivier Giroud always up there as well. We've got Stuart Webster, who's a new young Maltese player. Looks pretty decent, very, very good physically. Could be a very good player for the Maltese national team. He's just broken into that first team, which we're going to quickly click on. They're 156th in the world. They haven't really been up and down recently, to be honest. I don't think you can look at like their teams, national teams, like growth rise over the last few years as such, but they haven't done too well. Their pitch condition is terrible. Just checking if they'd like expanded their pitch. I don't think they have. They're still at the Ta'ali Stadium. See their major transfers here from recent times. A lot of players leaving, going to the MLS and stuff like that. Wellington Silva's been the main big one that's coming in. If you see the national team so far, there's not really many players of value. highest value is £44,000. Still, the Maltese players are in there. That's actually a regen, I think, as well. Emmanuel Plumpton, he looks pretty good. 23 appearances. He plays at Msida. But so far, not many players are coming in through the, who have signed so far. But just a matter of time, and I think they will. If we go back onto the Bank of Valletta team as well, a lot of people have been asking about training grounds and stuff. We'll check Jazeera for a start. They've still got, they're still in that pretty small stadium. I'll check the training facilities for you though. See, the stadium's still owned by Hammer and Spartans. So I think they must have. I'm not 100% sure actually if they built their own or not, or it might have already been there. Everything's still pretty basic, to be honest. It does say they've got excellent training facilities and excellent youth facilities though, which is pretty good. So they've obviously invested in that a little bit more. Jazeera doing okay. Time to check out, Europa League and stuff like that. See who went through in the last couple of years or so. So what we'll do is go on view stages and check that out before I click on something wrong. View stages, we'll go to last season first, which Atletico Madrid won. First qualifying round, see if any Maltese teams run this. Zeebrugge Rangers won 9-0 on aggregate. Anyone else? I'll probably miss them if not. Oh, there, Birza also won 6-0 on aggregate against an Albanian team. And Jazeera won 7-0 on aggregate too. And that is that. On to the second qualifying round. Check the Maltese boys. Zeebrugge just about won. They beat Maccabi Haifa, who are a decent team. Jazeera won as well on aggregate. And the last Maltese team, the all-elusive team, Birza also won against Göteborg. So we're on to the third qualifying round now. A couple of teams doing quite well. Maltese teams again. Jazeera lost out to Krasnodar, so they're out unfortunately. Birza also lost, so our last hope. See if there's anyone else in here. Zeebrugge won, which is good. Zeebrugge Rangers through now to the next round, which was the playoffs, where they played against Espanyol and then won in extra time, which means they're in the group stage of this tournament. So which group were they in? Not Group C. Oh, maybe we should just click all groups so it'd be a lot easier for me to see. Wow, they won their group. Group G, they won. They only lost one game. They had Krasnodar, Celtic and Fenerbahce. Pretty tough group. So Zeebrugge are through to the knockout stages of the Europa League. Who did they play? They played against Marseille, which they've won on the away goal rule. This is mad. Second knockout round. Oh, they had Borussia Mönchengladbach and lost 3-1 in the end, which they actually... Did they win? They drew the first leg, or the second leg, 2-2. Unfortunately, they lost on aggregate, which is crazy for them to get so far, though. It's a pretty good achievement. So, Zeebrugge Rangers doing the best out of the teams there. Current season, though, we'll check. No Maltese teams got as far this year, I doubt. First knockout round, we'll see if there's any Maltese boys in there again. Not on the top half there. There's a couple here. Jazeera are through. Valletta were through. National Lions were through as well. Second qualifying round. National Lions won it again. I've probably missed a couple of teams. Valletta won again, and anyone else? Jazeera won as well, which is good. Third qualifying round. This is good for them to get so far. A bit more money for them. Jazeera lost. National Lions won, and Valletta won on penalties as well. Did anyone else come into this one? No. Now through to the playoff. Two Maltese teams in there. Surely one of them must have won. Valletta lost to Basel, and National Lions beat Zurich, which is good going. Now we're on to the group stage, which National Lions are through. And we'll start off with... Which group were they in? Second in Group K. They had Spurs, Trabzonspor, and Vitoria. I think have we looked at this? No, I don't know. Just rings a bit of a rings bells, but first knockout round. Who did they play up against? National Lions lost out to Leverkusen. 3-0. So that isn't bad going. National Lions doing okay in the end there. check if any Maltese team did as well in the Champions League. We'll have a quick look at that before we move on. Champions League. I'll just have a quick scroll through, see if any Maltese teams kind of... Well, they must have done. Look at that. Vasquez finishing second top goal scorer in the Champions League for Zeebrugge Rangers. So they must have got pretty far in it as well. We'll check out. We'll go with Champions playoffs. Were they in there? Yeah, they beat Young Boys, which is pretty cool. Are they in the third place? No, I think they go straight into the group stage, which is very, very good indeed. So Zeebrugge Rangers are through, and they must have probably qualified as well, did they not? Oh no, wow, what a tough group. Napoli, Monaco and Barcelona. Zeebrugge Rangers finishing 4th there on 3 points, but for a guy to score 7 goals, he must have done most of them in the qualifying round, because they only scored 3 goals in the end, but that isn't bad at all. What we're going to do now is go back here as well. To last season, any Maltese team. National Lions have Real Madrid and Manchester United and Sporting. What a tough group. No other Maltese teams were in the Champions League, but that is ridiculous. Finishing on 1 point in the end, but that is a ridiculously tough group. So now we're going to start looking at the other leagues. We've looked at the Premier League, of course, and Jazeera have won that. Now we'll move on to the first division. See what's been going on. League table. Zabar won it this year. St George's, Pieta Hotspurs as well. He must have had a really strong team. They finished in 3rd place. Ormi going down now. Maaba, not good. Last year, Tarshin won it in the end, but Berkakara getting relegated at the start of the game. They were probably the strongest one, if not the strongest, one of the strongest Maltese teams. Now they're going down to Division 2. Transfers this year, biggest one for 8.5 million to Figura. Gerard Wouters, Brian, a couple of Brazilian guys, but not many players that we know of as such, I suppose. Chris Wood, he moved Maltese clubs. Jake Livermore, J. Emmanuel Thomas, all moving on as well, so a bit different. Last year, 4.9 million. Again, these Brazilian guys coming in. They're Brazilian, I'm guessing. Yeah, youngsters, which is pretty good for Maltese football. Danny Bloom as well. He left and went to Wolves in the end. Couple of players really, but a lot of these Figura signing a lot of these Brazilians. Now, where are Figura? Are they in the Premier League? No, they finished 5th this last season, but they've got loads of Brazilian guys. They've got a really bright future if those Brazilian guys are actually any good. Second division, Berkakara did win it in the end, pretty comfortably this season. 425,000. I mean, not a lot has been spent in these lower leagues. Not a lot of players are going to be wanting to sign. So a lot of the signings are from other Maltese teams in higher/lower divisions. Last year, Sirens won it. Zurich finishing 2nd. Donev, £1 million is quite a big transfer for this division. Again, not a lot of the players in this league you would have heard of. And finally, the 3rd division, Master Skylar won it this season. Not much money's been spent. 235,000. Adam Taylor went to Valletta. Usman Mani went from Middlesbrough to Sigiwi. Other than that, again, not many biggest transfers, mainly Maltese-based players. And 2019-20, £105,000 was Adam Taylor from Shalima to Master Scala. So, we'll quickly check the Maltese Cups and stuff like that. But, it's the FA Trophy, isn't it? Valletta won it this year. And last year it was Zeebrugge Rangers. But overall, it's going well. Malta's still got the money there. There is still being money spent. Possibly the reputation probably isn't rising as much. It's still at 57th now. There was all the way down in rising, but they had a massive jump this year, massive 10 places. So they're doing okay now. And what I want to see now, it will be next episode, which is great. This world ranking 156th in the world. This, in a couple of years' time, I think, 1 to 2 years, is when all the players that signed in the first year are eligible to play for the Maltese national team. So we could see them jump into maybe the top 100, things like that. We'll have a quick look now, see if we can find any players who signed in that first season still in Malta, and to see if they have not got national caps for their teams. So they're going to be older players for sure. It's probably going to be this season. I mean, I know Thiago Neves has played for Brazil. Unfortunately, it might have to be this next season. Giroud, we know, has played. Kiyotake, where's he from? Japan. Guessing he's played for the Japanese. 91 caps. Tomer Hemed plays for Floriana. He's played many games for Israel. Bruno Kilimanga, maybe. He doesn't even play, but he's had a load of caps. Need to look for players that maybe haven't had caps for their country. Debuchy, he's played for France 29 times. He's not even at the club anymore. Funes Mori, played for Argentina 3 times. That's kind of annoying. Matias Lopez. Wow, he could be a huge player for them. Still plays for Floriana. Argentinian, hasn't played. He's played for their under-20 team. But he could be a huge player. I know he isn't brilliant, but he could be a very, very good player. Trying to look at other players maybe. Gabriel Torre. He's played quite a lot for Romania. I mean, there's got to be someone there. Maybe a couple of youngsters. The most exciting thing is all the Brazilian youngsters that have been signed by, I think it's Figueira. A couple of years' time, that could be huge for the Maltese national team. But we'll end the episode there. We'll look at the national team again in the next episode. If there's anything you guys think I've missed out, please do let me know in the comments down below. But that is the end of the episode. Please do drop a like if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, and you can follow me on my Twitter. I'll follow anyone back at Dave as a part of the FM. The link is in the description down below. Until next time, guys, I'll see you all next time.